What do you really want? Do you even know? Most people have no idea. I mean, they know maybe what they want to have for lunch, but beyond that, what constitutes a great day? And how can you have more of them? This is The Next Simple Step. I'm Paul Goldsmith. Generally speaking, everyone wants to feel good, have some loving relationships, and have some money so that you can buy stuff and have more comfort and stuff. So have you ever stopped to consider, though, like, what's the point of it all? Like, what are you striving for? What are you working toward? And if you had unlimited resources, how would you live your life differently? Too many people are optimizing their life for comfort, and I was guilty of that. I think that's just our default setting. We want to avoid pain and discomfort. But when you do that, by default, it's soul-sucking. Think of a teenager who sleeps all day, plays video games all night in the basement. It might be comforting, it's probably entertaining, but it's also terribly demotivating. And it's one thing if a kid does that for their teenage years for a season. It's another thing for adults to spend their lives numbing out, avoiding conflict, just powering through for the next opportunity to have some pleasure. And on the other end of the spectrum, there's those of us that are optimizing to the extreme our health. And that can get out of balance as well, because what's the point of that if you can't enjoy your life because you're so busy optimizing every minute of every day? There's a term for this. I'm in that demographic. The term is a Huberman husband, and it's named after Dr. Andrew Huberman. He has the #1 health podcast, I think, in the world. And they're very educational about how to optimize your sleep and your food and everything about your life. But at the end of the day, I had to ask myself, like, what's the point of all that optimization if it sacrifices the other parts of my life, my work, my relationships, enjoying time with my kids? And so I really think that digging down deep to say, like, what are you optimizing for is a really important question. I'll go first. I'm optimizing to be present, to do my best each day, to accept the assignment, to do what's required of me that day. And from day to day, it changes. A book that's really helped shape my view on this is by the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, Viktor Frankl. His most popular book is called Man's Search for Meaning. I highly recommend that. But there's a more recently published book. It's from a series of lectures he gave 9 months after coming out of a Holocaust concentration camp. And the book is called Yes to Life in Spite of Everything. In it, he shares a poem from the Italian poet Tagore, in which he says, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was duty. I worked, and behold, duty was joy." And then Frankl goes on to reflect upon that poem. So life is somehow duty, a single huge obligation. And there's certainly joy in life too, but it cannot be pursued, cannot be willed into being as joy. Rather, it must arise spontaneously. And in fact, it does arise spontaneously, just as an outcome may arise. Happiness should not, must not, it can never be a goal, but only an outcome. The outcome of the fulfillment of that which is in Tagore's poem is called duty. A human striving for happiness in this sense is doomed to fail, as luck can only fall into one's lap, but can never be hunted down. I love that. Striving for comfort or happiness in and of itself is doomed to fail. It's not fulfilling. We have to accept the unique duty and calling of our individual lives. That's what it's all about. And sometimes your feelings are going to be bad. You're going to be in a difficult circumstance, a diagnosis, a job loss. People are mean to you. Whatever happens and is out of your control. But what you do control is how you show up today and make the most of it. Accept the assignment for which you're called. And just one more excerpt from Frankl sums it up nicely. It is not we who are permitted to ask about the meaning of life. It is life that asks the questions. We are the ones who are questioned. We are the ones who must give answers to the constant hourly questions of life, to the essential life questions. Living itself means nothing other than being questioned. Isn't that so good? I'll apply this to my circumstance. For the last couple of years, I've been working toward opening a SaladWorks restaurant, and we were getting closer at the beginning of this year, and then we hit a brick wall. The developer of the property ran out of money to finish the building. This is after we invested a lot of money in building out our space and getting ready to open, hiring a manager, and then being told we can't open because the building's not done. 3 months have gone by. It's costing us money every day and week and month that goes by. And I can get bitter, or I can accept each day as it comes as an opportunity to learn and grow, and learning to wait patiently. What does this situation require? To answer the question I asked at the beginning, what do I really want? What makes a great day is I want to show up every day and be my best self, to do my best, to do what's required. I'm just learning to be a more patient person, and that isn't easy, but that's a part of the growth, because our work is more about making us than the things that we make. And one of the things that I do when I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed is I'll go for a walk or a run and get outside and enjoy some sunshine. And so I was thinking about maybe it's time that the podcast comes up with a tagline. It's helpful to you, use it, but here's what I'm thinking. I'd love to know your thoughts. When you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed by your circumstances, get some space between you and the situation. And so here's the tagline. Go for a run, get some sun, and have fun. For you, it might not be running, it could be walking, but move your body, get out and enjoy nature, and appreciate that today is a gift and you don't get another one like it. What is it for you to do today? Let me know. You can reach out. I'm Paul J. Goldsmith on Instagram and X, and I'll talk to you next time on the next Simple Step Podcast.